So in the Knicks-Pacers series, what the Pacers pretty much did was, hey, we're going to pressure 94 feet because Jalen Brunson likes to walk the ball up. They don't like to push ahead at all, unless it's like in like a live ball turnover situation, or if Brunson's not in the game, or if it's McBride, which I think he should have played more. But the Pacers said we're going to pressure 94 feet. We're going to get over every screen because I know Brunson is going to try to get highly on him, and we're not going to let that happen. And the refs are not going to call it. So if the refs are not going to call it, we can actually play basketball now. So that's what the Pacers did. And then they said on offense, we're going to get out and run. We're going to get out and run because, again, he's not that athletic. Brunson's not that athletic, and Brunson uses all of his energy on the offensive end trying to bully you, trying to get a switch. And if it doesn't work, now 5 seconds, 6 seconds left in the shot clock, they hoist up a dumb shot, and then the Pacers are running. Run out, transition, we're going to play fast. And if we do somehow get into the half court, we know we have someone in Pascal Siakam who we can give the ball to, and he can make plays, and Tyrese Halliburton can get into the paint and make plays. And the Knicks didn't have no answers for that. The Pacers could always get the Knicks always in defensive rotation, because if you just go at Cat, Cat's going to do what? Sit and drop coverage. And if you sit and drop coverage, now I can easily get into the paint. Now the defense has to rotate, and now somebody's wide open, like, I don't know, Andrew Nimhard, Neesmith, Opie Toppin when he comes in off the bench. And then even when TJ McConnell comes in, he can probe into the lane, make a play, and then only that, he can shoot the mid-range. So the Knicks didn't really have the answers like that because you have two liabilities on the defensive end in Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns. And you're scheming your defense to protect Jalen Brunson. But the fact that Cat can't play defense like that whenever it's on the perimeter, you got a serious problem. Hence why if they had to make the move, okay, well, if we take Cat out, our offense is even worse. So what we got to do, okay, we got to make a switch. Let's put Josh Hart on the bench. Let's have Mitchell Robinson in, who is a better defender because he can actually move, slide his feet. Mitchell Robinson is actually very athletic on the defensive end. He's very athletic. He's more athletic than Karl-Anthony Towns. He can actually move laterally. He actually has agility and quickness. Karl-Anthony Towns does not have that. That's why he's always in drop. But Mitchell Robinson, he could play in a drop, but also he can press up. He can trap a pick and roll. He can blitz. He can actually down a ball screen. That's something that Karl-Anthony Towns, I don't think he could ever do, because physically, the way he's built, he can't play defense. He's not built to play defense. Sorry about that. He's just not built to play defense, and so is Brunson. Brunson is 6 foot on a good day. And he's not long. He's not long, not lanky, and you can put him in the post. If you're 6'3", 6'4", put him in the post. Look what Nimhard was doing to him. Nimhard was getting at him. And then when Tyrese Halliburton would get Brunson on him, easy, boom, bop, bop, step back, or I can get to the rim. You got two liabilities on the defensive end for the Knicks, and when it's in the half court, the Pacers got any and everything that they wanted. It wasn't until you got Brunson out the game, until you got Karl-Anthony Towns out the game, that the Knicks defense actually got better. But the problem with that also, but thing is though, even if their half court defense got better, still transition. They sucked this entire series getting back on defense. Getting back on defense was their biggest problem. The Indiana Pacers had 58 more points than the Knicks in transition. That's your ball game right there. Because anytime the Knicks are scoring, I'm outletting it. I'm just going to outlet it. I'm just going to outlet. Siakam's running. Nimhard's running. Neesmith's running. Halliburton's running. So the fact is that the Pacers had their defensive scheme pretty simple. We're going to pressure your full court because we know the whole offense is based on Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is going to bring the ball up every single time. And honestly, after game one, the Knicks should have realized, okay, we can't let Brunson bring the ball up because the ball pressure is just crazy. Neesmith and Nembhard are going to pressure the heck out of him. So let's actually run some action for him in the half court. Let's let I don't know, Deuce McBride bring the ball up. Let's let Mikal Bridges bring the ball up. Josh Hart, instead of benching him, let him actually be the point forward. Instead of just having Brunson tire himself out because he has to dribble the ball up. He's getting turned. He's getting turned 3 times, and then they're ripping him sometimes. And then by the time he does get past half court and it's time to run a play, it's like 12 seconds left in the shot clock. Like, I mean, the Pacers made it simple, but the Knicks didn't adjust to it, and that's the difference, man. That's the big difference. You know, the playoffs is about adjusting. If you know that they're not going to call anything when it comes to ball pressure on Nesmith and Nembhard, switch it up. Don't let Brunson save his energy. Don't let him bring the ball up. Let him run off some action, some down screens. Make it easy for him. I know you're used to just having him bring the ball up because you're not used to someone having that type of ball pressure on him like that. And he's not used to it. Well, guess what? Now that you see that in the playoffs, we're not calling all that. We're not going to call too many. We're going to actually let you guys play. Switch it up. So that way he can actually give more effort on the defensive end. That way Karl-Anthony Towns can give some more effort on the defensive end. But because of that, the Knicks are home. No adjustments. The only big adjustment was benching your point forward. Benching your point forward because mainly Karl-Anthony Towns is terrible on the back line and Jalen Brunson is a liability anyway. So the Knicks got to get that figured out in the offseason. They got some moves to make. I don't know what they're going to do with Karl-Anthony Towns, especially if you hitched your wagon already to Jalen Brunson. And if you're not going to change Jalen Brunson, you got to do something with the two spot. I think Mikal Bridges is great at the 3. I think OG Anunoby is great at the 4. I think Karl-Anthony Towns, if they keep him, is solid offensively sometimes at the 5. But if not, you can have Mitchell Robinson there, and you got to get a good legitimate scoring guard. A good legitimate scoring guard who can actually catch and shoot. Somebody who can actually create their own shots to where Brunson doesn't have to do everything. And then they need to upgrade their bench. Or if Tibbs, if we're being smart, use his bench. But if your bench consists of Shamet, Campaign, McBride, and Precious Achiuwa, you got a problem anyway. So the Knicks know what they got to do. Tibbs got to be better, but I don't know if he's going to be back this upcoming season. But we'll think about that more in the offseason. But overall, Knicks had a solid, decent year. They overachieved. They really did because they were not supposed to beat Boston, and somehow they beat Boston. They beat Detroit, but it kind of took them too long to beat Detroit, honestly, if we're being honest. But that means Detroit's going to get better. A lot of these teams are going to get better, hopefully, during the offseason. So the Knicks going to have to make some tough decisions because this team, you can't bring this exact same team back. Because your ceiling is not the finals. It is the Eastern Conference Finals. And it might be the second round again at best. Because guess what? If Orlando does not get hurt, if Orlando doesn't, all those major injuries that they had during the season that forced them to be a 7 seed, if they're healthy, watch out. Cleveland's going to be back. Boston, you expect them to be competitive still. The Chicago Bulls, something is brewing in Chicago, so you got to be ready you got to keep your eyes out for that. If you're the Knicks, you got to make some moves. You can stand pat if you want to. You're going to be out in the second round. I can tell you that right now. If the Knicks don't make any moves, they don't make any changes, if they keep this same roster, they're not making it to the finals. They're not making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. At best, they're a second round exit. But we'll see what happens. I'll talk to you guys later.